fact, I would imagine the quest for all of us as humans is to get to have as many of those positive relationships and experiences and situations as possible. And I think it's important to recognize that when you're in those situations, recognize how they feel. Try and recognize why they feel the way they do. Like, do you feel supported? Do you feel complete? Do you feel like you belong? Right? Like those kinds of things. Because when you're in other situations that do not have that standard or benchmark or bar, I think it's important to take a look at that and figure out, A, why is it not as good as other situations? And B, like, why are you even in this situation anymore? Like what of value is keeping you in that situation? And I, for one, am super guilty about, remaining way too long. Like, I overstay my welcome in literally every aspect of my life. And it's funny, I was talking in therapy this week about how not exciting my therapy must be, because I can just draw straight lines from one thing to another. As I talk about often enough, is, my upbringing sucked. Like, it just really wasn't great. And I was left on my own to figure out a lot of stuff on my own, which is also a main reason of why I am the way I am now. But, when you have those things and you are the way you are, like, you can always look back and try and figure out, like, why you are the way you are. And what I was saying about me overstaying my welcome, like, I'm just basically incapable of letting go of things. It's not like a disorder, but like, I have a lot of trouble with attachments. I apply a lot of value to things that do not deserve the value that I apply to them. I've done that with people for sure. And I have a very big fault, and I've talked about this several times, like in terms of dealing with other musicians and bands, where it's like, kind of once I've vetted you or whatever process I have to do to decide, like, you and I are friends or you and I are partners in this, like, I don't even really look at it again until it gets so bad. Then I have to be like, oh my God, I was completely wrong. And I've done that with several people in the local music scene. Most anybody listening to me probably knows at least some of the ones that I'm talking about. And it's always just kind of comes as a shock to me. Like, oh God, you weren't what I thought you were, or or you were just like using me or whatever, or it was just manipulating me is always a good one. That's happened a lot.